Friends, we just celebrated a big event here at the old show, and no, I don't mean our 8th birthday, which we just celebrated a couple of days ago. I would argue an even more important birthday, Kumo's. On July 3rd, 2017, Kumo turned 10 years young. So for those of you that know dogs, he is somewhere between 70 and 80 years old. So he is definitely the elder statesman of the show here. And he is celebrating with one of his favorite birthday presents. And man, do I love this guy, but that thing smells awful. And we're already getting eaten alive by bugs because of the heat, but that thing is just making it worse. But hey, whatever makes him happy. So a little backstory here. Kumo, believe it or not, is a rescue. Now, we, his caretakers, we like to refer to us as the rescues because he clearly is the one that kind of runs the show, and he has absolutely improved our lives rather than the other way around, because we're just unbelievably thankful that he's around. He makes everything kind of better, and he's got a great way of looking at life, even a bone that's just, ooh. As a matter of fact, when we went to look for that bone, there was a choice of a bone, or there was this thing that looked like a tube that I thought. I mean, this is how educated I am. And I take this tube and I go to the woman at the counter and I said, what is this? And they said, oh, it's a beef trachea. And it didn't quite register at that point for me. Beef trachea. And she goes, oh, it's this from the cow. And I literally dropped it on the counter. I'm like, we'll take the bone, thank you very much. So we met Kumo, I want to say 4 years ago, maybe, something like that. 3 years ago, and he was kind of behind the scenes. And we met him out here while we were shooting one time. It was kind of a funny story. Do you remember the S65 coupe that we were shooting? Well, we were on this open air studio, and there's really no traffic that comes down here. Then all of a sudden, we saw a green SUV, and then this beautiful white dog, and I have a huge, I love Siberian Huskies and all sorts of Huskies. So this is my absolute favorite type of dog. And I just was like, oh my God, this is a beautiful dog. But the cameras were running. So me and Mike see this dog go right past us, and the guy in the car goes right past us. And he was, I believe he had a leash on at that point. And then about 10 minutes later, Kumo comes back, no leash, leading the car, and I go to like pet him. He wouldn't let me pet him, and he just kind of takes off. And I couldn't believe this dog wouldn't stop for me. Well, this happened, I want to say like 6 months. Yeah, a little bit more than 6 months. And then all of a sudden, we were shooting that blue Aston Martin. It was the coupe version, not the Roadster. And that's when he stopped. And the gentleman that was his caretaker at that point came up, and they stopped, and they wanted to introduce themselves, but only because we had an Aston Martin. So that is why I tell you that his favorite cars are Aston Martins, because he was presented with multiple Mercedes, multiple Porsches, Rolls Royces. Didn't stop for any of those, but he stopped for an Aston Martin. And that's when he entered my life. And we've been spending time with him ever since. So here he is, just chilling with his birthday party. He even dressed up for his birthday party on July 3rd. We came out here and we all spent some time with him and chatted and talked. We had a big party for him. I'm trying to get him down to the beach, but Manhattan Beach, they don't really like him there in terms of it's illegal to put a dog on the beach, which I totally disagree with. So we're going to walk on the Strand, and hopefully if you guys are in LA, you can come and meet him. Actually, funny story, I just met 3 people as I was doing my run on the Chip Trail, and they had these cute little Siberian Huskies, 2 adults and 1 little puppy, and I put the picture up on Instagram. You should definitely check it out. And I go to stop and I start talking to him, and then all of a sudden the guy, it's a couple and his mother, and the guy's like, your voice sounds familiar. And I'm like, I don't know. And we start talking some more, and he goes, Kumo? And I'm like, yeah. He doesn't know me. He knows the show in Kumo. So that's kind of how he brings everybody together, and that's why we love him so much. So no questions today, no fun facts, because I think this whole thing was just one big fun fact. But I wanted to come on and share with you his big milestone, and I wanted you guys to take a minute to wish him a happy birthday. So until we see you in our next episode, bis später.